Welcome back, everyone. There's a new Associated Press poll that finds that Americans overwhelmingly support a tax on the rich to help pay for health care reform. 57% are in favor of the idea, 36% opposed. And according to this poll, Americans think the tax is the best way to help pay for reform. Well, now to another bone of contention in health care reform, that public option. Remember that? Well, a group of liberal Senate Democrats is now urging Majority Leader Harry Ried to stand his ground on the plan. They met with Ried last night and told him that they have compromised enough. Ried's public plan includes an opt-out for states, and liberals are afraid that Ried may water it down even more just to get the moderates on board. With me now, Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio, who requested the meeting with Senator Ried, and he is a member of the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, which included a public option in its plan. Senator, great to have you back on the program.
Dr. Snyderman, nice to be on. Thanks.
Thank you. Your meeting with Senator Ried last night, what came out of it, and do you think Senator Ried is going to be able to sort of hold his ground? And then what does that mean for the moderates that you want to reach?
Senator Ried understands that what the lay of the land is. 4 out of 5 committees in the Senate and House support the public option. Overwhelming number of the public supports the public option. The doctors, surveys among doctors, overwhelming support for the public option. There are 2 or 3 or maybe 4 Democratic senators that are not so supportive at this point. But I think in the end, senators, people that are here understand that they don't want to be on the wrong side of history, that this bill is too important to defeat on a procedural vote. These are not substantive questions, they're procedural votes. Come to the floor, give us a chance to debate. Then after we vote on passage, let people decide on decide how you want, of course, in the bill, but on the procedure, don't kill the bill. And I think ultimately we by talking to people and working with our colleagues, we win people over on this.
So, Senator, as you talk about procedure, let's throw in the issue of timing. It has been raised that perhaps the idea of having something on the president's desk by the end of the year is now just not going to be a possibility, and this may trickle into next year. Did the Senate blow it by not working through August?
I don't think we blew it by not working through August, and I would preface that by saying that I think we work every weekend if we need to until this bill gets done, including working into the late night, whatever it takes. I don't think it was that I think it was that the negotiations went on too long, and we should have, as 4 of the 5 committees in the Congress acted in July, perhaps we should have pushed the Finance Committee to move a little quicker and get their bill, get their actual markup and their hearings and their amendments processed and all that earlier. That's all water over the dam now. Whether we finish, December 20th or whether we finish January 15th doesn't really matter that much to me. But I think we stay here. We work as long as we have to. We do this right. We take every amendment. We debate it. We vote on it. We pass this bill.
Talk about procedure. Let's talk about votes. 51 votes if you want to ram this down someone's throat. 60, I think, is the magic number. Take me through who that pivotal group and whether, frankly, you're willing to go for 51.
Well, I just don't think it's ramming anything down anybody's throat. 9 years ago, I don't hear all of you in the media talking much about this, but in May, President Bush got his tax cuts for the rich rammed through Congress in May, 4 months after they began, and they didn't think anything of this. You got to read every word in the bill. The public's got to have it on the internet for so many days and weeks and months. Slow down. None of that was, and that was a terrible decision that obviously turned us from surplus, that plus the war, to a terrible, terrible deficit that got us into this economic problem. So I don't really need to hear this ramming anything through. We've been working on this in some ways 75 years, but certainly working on this all year. I want to get a big vote. We had 160 Republican votes we accepted and voted and supported that I voted for in the committee, in the Health Committee on passing this bill. So there's a lot of Republican imprint in this bill. They're just on the big questions there aren't. And I want to do it with as many votes as we possibly can. There's no discussion now to do it with 51 votes. We want to do it with as many as we can. But 400 people in my state, from Xenia to Toledo to Gallipolis to Dayton, lose their insurance every single day. 400 people. And I want to do something about that, Dr. Snyderman. I think that's what's important.
And Senator, if Tom Coburn has said that he's threatened to read the entire bill on the floor as part of a filibuster, if in fact the Republicans threaten this filibuster, what's your backup plan?
Well, our backup plan is to stay all night and do it. If Senator Coburn insists on one more way to delay, 87 times, I believe the number is. It's a record. Never in Senate history has there been anything close to this. 87 times they've threatened filibusters and delayed things in this Senate this year alone. 87 times. This is another way to do it. Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader, said take 6 more weeks. Now Senator Coburn, whom I like and work with on some health care issues actually, says we should read the bill. Okay, if that's what he wants to do, it'll delay things about another 5 or 6 days. But we're on to that game. We need to stay and focus. As I said, 400 Ohioans, not to mention 15,000 Americans, lose their health insurance every single day. We have work to do, and this kind of delay tactics is an affront to the American people, in a real disservice to people that need some assistance.
Senator Sherrod Brown, Ohio is lucky to have you. Thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you, Dr. Simon, for saying that.
I appreciate it.